Hi guys, how are you all doing? So, today I've brought you an amazing Russian fantasy movie. Recently, I watched this film and I absolutely loved it. It instantly became one of my favorites. That's how unique this movie is. Since the film is quite deep, it runs a bit long, but I guarantee that not even for a moment will you feel bored. Shall we check out the one-liner of the movie? In a certain kingdom, there lived a greedy man. His only desire was to steal all the treasures of the land and escape to another country to live as a wealthy man. With that goal in mind, he made several cunning plans. One day, he manipulated the direction of the king's journey, causing an accident. While searching to see if there was any hidden treasure or gold at the accident site, he stumbled upon a mystical book of spells. The book was filled with powerful magic spells. Shocked and amazed, he hatched a new plan. Why should I leave this country when I can rule it? Using the spells from the magical book, he hypnotized the queen and declared himself the king. Not stopping there, he even banished the queen's blind daughter from the palace. Meanwhile, the hero of this story was someone who always spoke only lies. When he learned the truth about what had happened, he decided to outsmart the greedy man and reunite the blind girl with her mother. But there was one problem. Our hero was a master of lies and tricks, not magic. However, at one point, he discovered two powerful magical objects, a spell book and a mystical feather. He realized that these objects could change anything. So, he set off on a thrilling adventure to find them and use their power to help the girl return to her mother. The journey was filled with danger, obstacles, and excitement. But did he succeed? What kind of challenges did he face? Where did he have to travel? This amazing adventure is the story of the 2024 Russian fantasy film, The Enchanted Tinderbox. The movie begins with a boat sailing through rough seas. Inside the boat, a king from a distant land is seen traveling with a powerful sorcerer. The sorcerer tells the king, "Just one more day. If we can get past this storm, we will reach your kingdom. After that, I will help you fulfill your wish." But what exactly is the king's wish? The king has a blind daughter, and he has been on a long journey to find a way to restore her eyesight. That's why he captured the sorcerer and is now taking him back to the kingdom. However, as they continue their voyage, a massive storm begins to rage. The scene cuts to the king's kingdom. As I mentioned earlier, the king's daughter is blind. She is seen training with a warrior, learning how to fight despite her blindness. That warrior is none other than the elder brother of our hero. But who is the actual hero of this story? That will be revealed soon. For now, the hero's elder brother is teaching the blind princess how to predict movements and attack enemies without seeing them. The scene cuts again, and we see our hero arriving in the same village. He is known as the Master of Lies. Yes, our hero is someone who deceives people for a living. After a long time, he has come to visit his uncle. His uncle is delighted to see him, and they sit down for a chat. But, as expected, the hero starts lying again. "Uncle, when I went to the city, I met a huge businessman. I'm going to become a big businessman too, but I need 5 gold coins to start my business." However, his uncle sees right through him and scolds him. "Hey, I heard about you. You went to the city and scammed a lot of people, right? You even fooled government officers with your lies. Why are you like this?" Then he points to the hero's elder brother and says, "Look at your brother. He has become a trusted warrior for the king, Shouldn't you also do something meaningful with your life? At the same time, the hero's elder brother is still training the blind princess. A few palace servants are watching from a distance. Among them, two important characters stand out. One, the greedy man, someone who craves power and wealth. Two, his assistant, his foolish but loyal follower. The greedy man watches the hero's brother getting closer to the royal family and says, "Look at him. He has gained the king's trust while we are still stuck doing small jobs. We need to do something fast and move up." As they plot, the queen arrives. She sees her blind daughter training and immediately disapproves. "Why are you learning to fight? Girls shouldn't be fighting. They should stay inside the palace." But the young princess is fearless. She boldly asks her mother, "Have we received any news about my father? When will they return?" The queen sighs and replies, "Yes, they are on their way back. They just need to cross a storm. Tomorrow, they will arrive at the palace. They are bringing the magic book with them, and with that book, your vision will be restored." Hearing this, the young princess is overjoyed. She rushes to hug her mother in excitement. Because of the dangerous storm, the queen orders the palace guards, "Light a fire on the shore. That way the king can find his way home safely." The hero overhears this and agrees with the plan. But on the other side, the greedy man and his assistant are scheming. The greedy man smirks and says, "How long are we going to stay like this? I have a plan. Listen, I have a brilliant plan. You see, we are supposed to light a fire beacon to guide the king's boat, but instead of lighting it in the usual place, we'll set it in a different direction. When the boat follows that wrong signal, it will crash into the rocks and sink. And guess what? All the gold and treasures they're carrying will wash up on shore. We'll steal everything and escape with the fortune." Hearing this, the assistant nods in agreement. Just as they finalize their evil plan, a loud voice interrupts them. "Stop! Where are you going?" Shocked, they turn around. It's the hero's elder brother. It seems like he has overheard their entire plan. He steps forward and confronts them. "Are you really planning to betray the king?" But before he can react, the greedy man suddenly attacks him from behind. With a heavy blow, he knocks him unconscious. Now, with no one to stop them, they proceed with their devious plan. They light the fire beacon in the wrong direction. Meanwhile, out at sea, the king's ship is struggling through the storm. At last, a glimmer of fire appears in the distance. The king and his men see the fire and assume, "There! That must be the right direction." They steer the boat towards it. But what's waiting for them? A massive rock. Within moments, the ship crashes against the rocks and is completely destroyed. By morning, wreckage from the ship washes ashore. The greedy man and his assistant eagerly search through the debris. There must be gold and diamonds here. But as they dig through the wreckage, their excitement turns to disappointment. "What? There's nothing valuable here!" Now they realize, "We're doomed! If we go back to the kingdom, they'll execute us for this. We need a new plan!" Just then, they hear a faint sound coming from nearby. Curious, the greedy man follows the sound and discovers someone struggling to breathe. It's the sorcerer. He is badly injured but still clutching something tightly in his hands. As soon as he sees the greedy man, the sorcerer gasps, "Take this book! Deliver it to the queen! If it falls into the wrong hands, it will bring great danger." Not realizing who he is speaking to, the sorcerer hands over the magical book, and with his last breath, he dies. At the same time, the greedy man curiously opens the magical book. As he flips through the pages, he notices various powerful spells written inside. "What is this? I don't understand a thing," he mutters. He randomly reads out a spell, and suddenly, a strange, magical energy starts glowing around him. By accident, he has read a spell that creates a whirlwind. As soon as he chants the words, a violent tornado forms over the ocean. Seeing this, he is terrified at first. But then, a wicked thought crosses his mind. This is a magical book. If I master this, I can control the entire world. Just as he starts thinking about his new evil plans, he hears the sound of footsteps approaching. It's the Queen. He and his assistant run away quickly before she sees them. The Queen arrives and is shocked to find the hero's elder brother lying unconscious. The soldiers immediately realize the betrayal. "You traitor! I will not let you live!" One of them grabs a sword, ready to strike down the greedy man. But before he can attack, the greedy man quickly chants a spell from the magic book. It's a mind control spell. Suddenly, the Queen's eyes glaze over. She is now under his control. From this moment, whatever he says, she obeys. Just then, more royal soldiers arrive at the scene. Now, using the Queen as his puppet, the greedy man makes her speak. The person responsible for the shipwreck is none other than this soldier. Everyone is shocked. He betrayed the kingdom. Because of him, the king's boat sank in the wrong direction. Hearing this, the people of the kingdom are devastated. What will we do without a king? Who will rule us now? That's when the greedy man makes his next move. Through the Queen's voice, he declares, "From now on, I will be the new ruler of this land. Everyone must obey my orders. The people are helpless." Since the Queen herself is announcing this, they have no choice but to accept it. The greedy man officially becomes king. As the hero's elder brother regains consciousness, he realizes what has happened. Seeing the new king's betrayal, he tries to fight back, but the greedy man won't let him. He flips through the magic book and finds a transformation spell. Without hesitation, he chants the spell on him, and in a blink, the hero's brother is turned into a crow. The black crow flaps its wings and flies away, completely powerless. Now, the greedy man has full control over the kingdom. The soldiers arrive at the hero's home, where his uncle and the hero himself are present. The Queen, still under mind control, orders, "The hero's brother is a traitor. His house must be sealed immediately." The uncle is confused. "No, my nephew would never betray the kingdom. Something is wrong." But before he can say anything more, the soldiers seal the house. They also capture the hero and throw him in prison. Meanwhile, the greedy man finally enters the royal palace. He is overjoyed to see the golden throne. For years, he had dreamed of ruling the kingdom, and now it was finally happening. With a smirk, he sits on the throne, completely in control. At that moment, the blind princess arrives at the palace, holding her walking stick. "Father, are you here? Where are you?" she calls out. She walks forward, unaware of the danger surrounding her. "My brother taught me many things. He even told me that you would bring the magic book to cure my blindness." The greedy man, still controlling the Queen, speaks through her. "Do you know what's happening? No, you can't see. So how will you ever know?" Now, even the Queen starts repeating those words. Hearing her own mother speak like this, the blind princess feels that something is wrong. "Something is not right! Why does my own mother not recognize me?" Heartbroken and confused, she clutches her walking stick tightly. She suspects that a terrible spell has been cast. Filled with anger, she raises her stick to attack the greedy man, but the assistant quickly grabs her hand. "Master, do something! She is dangerous!" he shouts. The greedy man picks up the magic book and casts another spell. Immediately, a wall of fire appears, surrounding the princess. She is trapped, but before she can be completely consumed by the flames, she vanishes into thin air. Where did she go? At the same time, the assistant remembers the small pouch he took from the sorcerer earlier. When he opens it, something incredible happens. The blind princess suddenly appears inside the bag. Shockingly, the pouch traps her inside like a prison. But before the greedy man can celebrate his victory, something unexpected happens. A crow flies in, grabs the bag, and escapes. It's the hero's brother, who had been turned into a crow. Meanwhile, in prison, the hero is up to his usual tricks. He distracts the guards by playing a betting game with coins. Thinking they can win money, the guards join in, but they end up losing everything. At one point, the hero makes a bet that forces a guard to give him his uniform. After winning, the hero quickly puts on the soldier's uniform and shouts in panic, "Help! This prisoner is attacking me!" The other guards mistake the real soldier for a prisoner and start beating him up. During the chaos, the hero sneaks out and escapes. As he runs, bombs explode everywhere. Looking around, he sees an old well and thinks, "Maybe I can hide here until the war ends." But just as he leans over to check, an explosion knocks him inside. He falls deep into the well, hitting something soft at the bottom. When he looks closer, he sees the mysterious bag the crow had stolen. Curious about what's inside, the hero opens the bag. Inside, he finds a small stone and a tiny golden dollar-like object. "What is this? Never mind, let's just rest for now," he mutters. Thinking nothing of it, he lays down and falls asleep. After some time, two soldiers arrive and peer into the well. They see the hero sleeping at the bottom. "Hey, wake up! What are you doing here?" they shout. The hero quickly makes up a fake story. "I wasn't hiding! I was fighting bravely in the war, but after the explosion, I accidentally fell here." But the soldiers don't believe him. They drag him out of the well and take him to the general. The general informs him that the kingdom won the war. However, those who fled in fear will be sentenced to death. That's why the hero has been brought before him. Without hesitation, the general orders, "Take him to the town's edge and execute him. We have no need for cowards in our kingdom." The soldiers grab the hero and take him away. As they march him to the execution site, the hero desperately tries to talk his way out. "Wait! Wait! I am the prince of a neighboring kingdom. I can give you as much gold as you want. Just let me go." But the soldiers don't believe him. Just then, something unexpected happens. A rope from a hot air balloon suddenly drops nearby. The hero gasps in surprise and quickly grabs it. "See! My men have come to rescue me!" he shouts. Before the soldiers can react, he climbs up the rope and escapes into the hot air balloon. Once inside the balloon, he looks around and sees a mysterious traveler. Smiling, the hero thanks him. "Thank you so much for saving me." The traveler frowns. "Saving you? I wasn't saving you. I just dropped the rope to check how deep the land was. You just grabbed it and climbed in." Annoyed, the traveler tells him, "Fine, I'll drop you off at the next stop. Just sit quietly and don't touch anything." But does the hero listen? Of course not. He starts touching and examining everything inside the balloon. While messing around, he accidentally breaks something. What did he break? It was the fuel supply for the balloon. Without fuel, the hot air stops rising, and the balloon begins descending rapidly. The traveler yells, "You fool! Without fuel, the balloon will crash!" Panicked, the hero tries to help. He throws out unnecessary items to make the balloon lighter. But in his panic, he also throws out the coal fuel, making things even worse. "You idiot, you just threw away our only fuel source," the traveler shouts. Realizing they're about to crash, the hero quickly makes a deal. Okay, I'll jump out of the balloon, but in return, give me 5 gold coins." The traveler, desperate to save his balloon, agrees. "Fine, but I'll only give you 3 coins." The hero, having no choice, accepts. As soon as he jumps out, the balloon stabilizes and begins rising again. The hero waves goodbye. "See you later," the traveler mutters angrily. "I never want to see you again." The hero now finds himself deep inside a jungle. "Looks like I'll have to spend the night here," he sighs. He gathers wood and prepares to light a fire. As he searches for something to start the fire, he remembers the mysterious bag. Inside, he finds the magical stone and the tiny golden dollar-like object. He doesn't realize that the blind princess is trapped inside the magical object. Thinking it's just a regular fire-starting tool, he tries to light the fire. As soon as he does, sparks fly. And suddenly, the blind princess appears. Without warning, the blind princess starts attacking him with her stick. The hero is shocked. "Hey, who are you, and why are you hitting me?" He dodges her attacks and realizes something strange. Wait, this girl is blind. The blind princess listens carefully to his voice and senses something. "This doesn't sound like the evil man. Who are you?" she asks. The hero extends his hand to shake hers. But as soon as she touches him, she feels the soldier's uniform he is wearing. She also smells gunpowder on his clothes. "Are you a border soldier? If so, you must be a good person." For the first time, she trusts him. Curious, the hero asks, "How did you suddenly appear out of this magic stone?" The blind princess explains, "This stone doesn't grant wishes. It only shows the path to achieving them." To prove it, a mysterious old man appears nearby and shouts, "Boy, do you want 5 gold coins? If so, chop this pile of wood." The hero pauses and realizes, "Wait a minute, this is hard work. I don't want gold that badly." The old man disappears, proving that the stone only guides people to their goal, but doesn't give them things directly. Sitting down, the hero and the blind princess start talking. The hero asks, "Who are you?" The blind princess calmly replies, "I am the princess of this kingdom." The hero is shocked. Not wanting to be outdone, he lies and says, "Oh, I am also a prince. I'm from the neighboring kingdom." But the princess doesn't believe him. To test him, she takes off her earring and hands it to him. "Take this. Give it to my mother, and she will recognize me." The hero looks at the earring and realizes, wait a minute. This is pure gold, and these are real diamonds. For the first time, he truly believes that she is a princess. Now that he knows she is a princess, he slyly asks, "So, you must also know where the royal treasures are kept, right?" The princess innocently replies, "Yes, of course. I have counted the steps to the treasure room." She then gives him the exact directions to find the treasure. The hero is delighted. "If I can get my hands on that treasure, I can finally escape this place." The hero tells the blind princess, "Okay, I'll go find your mother and tell her about you. She definitely won't have forgotten you." He then takes her to a small shop nearby. "Wait here. I'll go to the palace and come back quickly," he assures her. To keep her busy, he hands a coin to the shopkeeper and says, "Give her as much food as she wants." Then, without wasting time, the hero sneaks away. The hero's real plan is to steal. The hero's real plan is to steal the royal treasure. Since the blind princess unknowingly gave him the directions to the treasure room, he plans to loot everything and escape from the kingdom forever. Carefully, he sneaks into the palace. Following the exact number of steps the blind princess told him, he successfully finds the treasure room. Using a bent spoon as a lockpick, he opens the door, and inside, endless piles of gold and jewels. "Wow, I'm rich! Now I just need to grab everything and escape," he thinks. Meanwhile, the blind princess is still waiting at the shop. Realizing that the hero is taking too long, she asks the shopkeeper, "Can I wait here a little longer?" The kind shopkeeper nods but gives her a task. "Do you know how to wash dishes? You can help me clean while you wait." Not knowing what else to do, the blind princess agrees and starts washing dishes. Back at the palace, the hero gathers as much treasure as he can. As he prepares to sneak out, he suddenly hears footsteps. 2 palace guards are approaching. Panicking, the hero hides back inside the treasure room. But as he moves, he accidentally knocks over a metal object. Clang! The noise alerts the guards, and they rush inside. Seeing the hero holding bags of gold, they immediately shout, "Thief! Catch him!" The hero quickly dodges their attack and starts running. The guards chase him through the palace. As the hero desperately looks for a way out, he spots a small door. Without thinking, he jumps through it and lands right inside the king's chamber, where the greedy villain is sitting on the throne. The villain is shocked. "Who are you?" he demands. Thinking quickly, the hero pretends to be a cleaner. "Oh, your majesty, I am just a simple chimney sweeper. I heard that the chimney needed cleaning, so I came to check." The villain squints suspiciously. "I never ordered that. Guards, seize him!" The hero is immediately captured. The hero desperately tries to lie his way out. "I swear, I was only here to see a palace maid whom I love." The villain smirks and calls for the maid. To his bad luck, the maid has no idea who he is. "I have never seen him before," she says. That's it. The hero is thrown into prison. The villain announces, "Tomorrow morning, you will be executed." Now, the hero is completely trapped. As night falls, the hero remembers the magic stone. "I need to escape somehow," he whispers. Holding the stone, he wishes for freedom. But instead of granting the wish instantly, the stone only shows the path to escape. And what is that path? The palace maid suddenly returns and says, "So, you love me? Fine, let's get married right now." The hero is horrified. "Wait, what? She even brings a marriage contract for him to sign." "No way! This is worse than execution," he panics. Realizing that the stone only guides people towards their goal, but doesn't solve problems directly, he quickly locks the maid out of his cell and goes back to sleep. As the hero sleeps, a crow suddenly lands on the prison window. The hero wakes up, surprised. "Huh? How did you get in here?" But then, the crow speaks. "Listen, we don't have much time. If you want to escape, you need to steal the magic book from the villain." The hero is stunned. "Wait, you can talk?" The crow continues. "Yes, the villain is using a magical book to control the kingdom, but his spells are almost finished. To cast new spells, He needs magic ink and magic feathers. Those can only be found on a secret island. Convince him that you can bring the magic ink and feathers for him. That's your only chance to escape. Before the hero can ask more, the crow disappears. The next morning, the hero is dragged to his execution. The villain stands before him and says, "This is your last chance. Tell me the truth. Why did you enter the palace?" The hero quickly thinks and then says, "I know about your magic book, but you've used up all your spells, right?" The villain freezes. The hero smirks and continues, "You need magic ink and magic feathers to continue using it. I know where to find them, but only I can get them for you." The villain is shocked. He immediately cancels the execution. "Very well. Bring me the magic ink and feathers, and I will even grant you a wish." To make his journey easier, the hero requests a mechanical horse. The villain, now desperate for magic ink, agrees. A beautiful mechanical horse is brought before the hero. The hero confidently walks toward it, pretending he knows how it works. But when he gets on, the horse doesn't move. The guards tell him, "It only moves when you insert a gold coin." "What? I have to pay for this thing?" the hero complains. Annoyed, he puts in a coin, and the horse finally starts moving. But instead of riding swiftly, it moves super slowly. "This is embarrassing. Go faster," the hero yells. Frustrated, he lays down on the horse, waiting for it to speed up. Meanwhile, the blind princess is still washing dishes at the shop. The local kids mock her. "Still waiting for your prince?" He's never coming back. Just then, the hero's mechanical horse suddenly stops in front of the shop. The alarm on the horse goes off loudly, alerting everyone. The hero wakes up, confused. "Did I reach the island already?" Then he realizes where he is. "Oh no! Why did I end up back here?" The blind princess smiles. "You came back for me." The hero nervously laughs. Yeah, of course." Now he has no choice but to take her along. The hero decides to leave the blind princess somewhere safe and escape on his own. He commands the mechanical horse, "Take me to my uncle's workplace." As usual, the horse demands a gold coin. "Ugh, this thing is so expensive," the hero grumbles, tossing a coin into the slot. The horse takes off and soon arrives at his uncle's temporary home, since his original house had been seized by the villain. The hero gently lowers the blind princess from the horse and assures her, "My uncle is a good man. He will take care of you." But just then, a gunshot rings out. The uncle had mistaken them for intruders. The hero yells, "Hey, it's me! Why are you shooting?" Realizing his mistake, the uncle welcomes them inside. They sit down, and the hero fabricates another lie. "Uncle, I've joined the army. I work for the kingdom now." The uncle is impressed and asks, "Oh, where are you headed now?" The hero smirks. "The king has given me an important mission. I need to leave soon, but while I'm gone, can you take care of this girl?" Hearing this, the blind princess, half asleep, listens quietly. The next morning, as the hero sneaks out, he notices his uncle digging in the dirt. The uncle scoops up a handful of sacred soil, places it in a small cloth pouch, and hands it to the hero. "Keep this with you always. It's lucky soil, and it will protect you." The hero is skeptical. "Huh? Protect me? How?" The uncle simply smiles and says, "Just trust me. When the time comes, you'll understand." The hero rolls his eyes, but keeps the pouch to avoid suspicion. After walking a short distance, the hero whistles to summon his mechanical horse. But when the horse arrives, he sees that the blind princess is sitting on it. "What are you doing here?" the hero yells. The blind princess confidently replies, "I'm coming with you." The hero shakes his head. "No! My path is too dangerous. You need to stay here." But the blind princess refuses. "No. I heard everything you told my uncle. You're lying. I know you weren't going to find my mother. You were trying to escape." The hero sighs, realizing he can't argue with her. "Fine, but don't slow me down." Even the mechanical horse seems to support the princess, as it suddenly turns to face the direction of their journey. As they travel together, the hero and the blind princess slowly grow closer. The hero teases her, "You're pretty tough for a little kid." The blind princess smirks, "And you're pretty soft for a big liar." They laugh together for the first time. Eventually, their mechanical horse reaches the ocean and transforms into a boat, allowing them to sail to the secret island. Upon reaching the island, they find a rocky hill blocking their path. The hero searches for an entrance and finds a small tunnel. "Strange, it's too small for normal people," he mutters. Then he realizes, "This must be where the dwarves live." He turns to the blind princess and says, "Wait here. I'll go inside and check it out." "Be careful," she warns. Inside the tunnel, the hero has to crawl because it's too small for him to stand. As he moves deeper, he sees something shining on the ground. Gold! Diamonds! This place is full of treasure. He picks up a handful of gems and grins. "Just a few of these and I'll be rich." Then, he peeks through a small window and sees a massive underground city filled with dwarves mining precious stones. At the center of the city sits a dwarf king, writing with a magical ink. "That's the magic ink I need." But before he can make a plan, the dwarves catch him. They tie him up and drag him before the dwarf king. The dwarf king glares at him. "How dare you enter our city? You will be executed." Thinking quickly, the hero lies. "Wait, I am one of you." The dwarves are confused. "What?" "But you're so tall." The hero dramatically explains, "Well, I used to be short like you, but when I traveled to the outside world, I accidentally grew taller." The dwarf king strokes his beard. "You mean you want to become short again?" "Yes, I've missed my true dwarf life." The dwarves believe him and cheer. "Then we shall restore your size." One dwarf pulls out a giant knife. "Let's start by cutting off your legs." The hero panics. "Wait! That's not what I meant." Just then a voice interrupts. "Let him go!" Everyone turns to see the blind princess standing confidently. She holds her wooden staff like a sword. The dwarf king laughs. "Oh? You want to fight for him? Very well. But you must duel one of my best warriors." A tiny but muscular dwarf steps forward. But then the hero shouts, "Wow, wait! She's blind, that's not fair." The dwarf king smirks. "Then my warrior shall also fight blindfolded." The duel begins. The blind princess uses her heightened senses to dodge attacks and strike back accurately. Within moments, she defeats the dwarf warrior. The dwarf king, impressed, says, "You have won. Take the magic ink as your reward." The hero is relieved. "Finally, the first item is mine." Before leaving, the dwarves gift the princess a warm cloak for their next journey. As they leave the underground city, the hero gets emotional. "You risked your life for me, even after all my lies. Why?" The blind princess smiles. "Because you're my big brother now." The hero fights back tears and hugs her. "And you are my little sister now." Just then, a strange noise echoes from the mountain. The hero turns and gasps. Standing at the peak is the mysterious traveler from before. What is he doing here. As the hero and the little girl landed on the snowy mountain peak, they noticed a balloon had already landed there. It seemed like someone had set up a small camp and was trying to get the balloon ready to fly again. To their surprise, the person at the camp turned around, saw them, and exclaimed, "Hey, is that you?" He was thrilled because he had been alone in this place for a long time. Now, seeing two people after such isolation made him extremely happy. He quickly welcomed them into his tent and gave them something to eat. Since the place was freezing, he even handed them blocks of ice to quench their thirst. As they sat down, the traveler explained his situation. "I was flying with my balloon when suddenly I ran out of fuel, coal to be exact. And you know why? Some foolish guy threw my fuel overboard. Because of that, I got stuck here." The hero nodded, understanding his problem. "Okay, but now what? How do we escape from this place?" The traveler sighed and said, "Escape? I've been stuck here for ages digging for coal, hoping to find something. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe years from now. Who knows when I'll find enough to leave?" The hero reassured him. "Don't worry. We'll figure something out." Just as they were talking, they suddenly heard the sound of a horse galloping towards them. Startled, they turned to see. His mechanical horse had made its way up the mountain. It seemed to have struggled through the snow to reach them, despite its limitations. However, due to the extreme cold, the metal in the horse's body had begun overheating. As it exhaled, steam came out in thick white clouds. The traveler's eyes widened in excitement upon seeing this. "We don't need coal anymore," he declared. "Your mechanical horse can generate enough steam for us to lift off." Without wasting time, they loaded the mechanical horse into the balloon's burner system. As the horse breathed out steam, it filled the balloon, and soon the balloon started to rise. The plan worked. They had finally lifted off, flying away from the icy mountain toward their next destination. After some time, they spotted land below. As they approached, the hero realized where they were heading. It was the heavenly mountain, home to the mystical feather they needed. However, as soon as they landed, they found themselves caught in the middle of a battle between two bird-like humanoid sisters. They were arguing over who was stronger, who was better, and who had the greater abilities. The hero and the little girl tried to get their attention, calling out, "Hey, stop fighting! Listen to us!" At first, the sisters didn't notice them, but after a moment, they turned and were shocked to see outsiders. "Who are you? Why have you come here?" they demanded. The hero, trying to calm the situation, asked, "Why are you both fighting?" "You're both unique in your own way. You each have special abilities. Instead of fighting, why not respect each other's strengths?" Hearing this, the two sisters looked at each other, thought for a moment, and then finally apologized to each other. Once peace was restored, they turned back to the hero. "Why have you come here?" they asked. At first, the hero tried to make up an excuse. "I'm an important person from Earth, and I've come here because," he started. But before he could finish, the little girl interrupted him. "Tell the truth!" she scolded. Realizing there was no way out, the hero finally admitted, "We need the magical feather to complete an important mission." The two sisters laughed. "Why should we just give it to you? You don't seem trustworthy." Seeing their doubt, the hero quickly pulled out the enchanted stone that granted wishes. The sisters' expressions changed. "Oh? That's interesting. You must have sacrificed a lot to obtain this," they said, examining the stone. After some thought, they decided to trust him. "All right, since you have this stone and it proves your noble intentions, we'll give you the feather." The hero was overjoyed as he received the magical feather, the very item they needed for their mission. With their goal achieved, they returned to the kingdom. But before entering the palace, the hero took the little girl to a market square nearby. He sat her down and said, "Wait here for a bit, okay? I'll go inside, get the king to grant my wish, and then I'll come back for you. I promise." The little girl nodded, trusting him completely. Inside the palace, the hero approached the greedy king and presented the feather and the enchanted ink. The king's eyes gleamed with greed. "Excellent, now hand them over," the king demanded. The hero didn't comply immediately. "Not so fast. First, I want you to grant my wish. Write it down in the book of spells and fulfill it." The king smirked. "Let me guess. Hey, you want to become the ruler of the neighboring kingdom?" The hero shook his head. "Number, I've changed my mind. I want the queen's memories to return, and I want her daughter reunited with her." The king's face twisted in anger. "What? That's nonsense. I can't do that." He signaled the guards to seize the hero, but before they could, the hero did something unexpected. He spilled a drop of the enchanted ink on the floor and held it threateningly. "If you don't grant my wish, I'll spill all of it, and then no one gets it," the hero warned. The greedy villain, now sensing his victory, smugly ordered everyone to leave the room. Slowly, he sat down, looking at our hero with a twisted grin. "Listen to me," he said slyly. "I can give you everything you want, but not that feather or ink. Just forget about them, and you'll be rich beyond your dreams." As he spoke, he casually reached into his pocket and placed a strange hat on his head. In an instant, he vanished. The hero blinked in shock. Where did he go? Before he could react, he suddenly felt his hands empty. The magic ink and feather were gone. The villain, now grinning from a corner of the room, removed the hat, revealing himself. "Too easy," he chuckled. "You were so distracted. Now you have nothing." The hero clenched his fists in frustration, but before he could attack, the villain snapped his fingers. His guards grabbed the hero and threw him out of the palace gates. Lying on the cold ground, defeated and lost, the hero barely had time to process what had happened. Just then, the little girl ran up to him, her face full of worry. "What happened?" she asked. "Did you do it? Does my mother remember me?" The hero couldn't bear to look at her. He had failed. With tears welling up, he gently placed his hands on her shoulders and whispered, "I'm sorry. I couldn't do it." She stared at him in silence. Then, for the first time, she hugged him tightly. That's when it hit him. The bird people had told him something before. To fulfill a great wish, one must be willing to make the greatest sacrifice. A thought sparked in his mind. He reached into his pocket and found something. The wishing stone he had taken earlier. With a deep breath, he held it tightly and whispered his final wish. "I wish for this little girl's mother to remember everything. I wish for them to be together again. In return, take whatever you must from me." As soon as he finished speaking, a bright light erupted from the stone. The hero closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, he was somewhere else. Instead of disappearing forever, the wishing stone had transported him back in time. He was now at the place where the fire ritual was supposed to happen. But this time, something was different. He saw the villain and his men preparing to light the fire in the wrong place. Exactly what led to all the destruction. Realizing his chance, the hero stepped forward. "So you were trying to change destiny, huh?" He smirked. The villain turned, startled. "You? How are you still?" Here? That's impossible! Without wasting time, the hero rushed at him, dodging attacks from his men. But just as he was about to be thrown off the cliff, he remembered his uncle's gift. Reaching into his pocket, he grabbed a handful of sacred soil and threw it into the villain's face. Ah! The villain screamed, his vision blinded. Taking the opportunity, the hero quickly put out the dangerous fire, ensuring that the ritual was performed in the right place. The real fire was lit, and suddenly, everything started to change. The sky, the kingdom, the people, everything was being restored to how it was meant to be. As the waves of change spread across the kingdom, the hero hid in the shadows, watching. Tears of joy streamed down their faces. The hero, watching from afar, felt a deep warmth in his heart. He had finally fulfilled his promise, but suddenly, his body began to fade. Ah, so this is the cost of my wish, he thought. Just as he started disappearing, something unexpected happened. The little girl broke free from her mother's embrace and ran toward him. Before he could vanish completely, she hugged him tightly. "I remember you," she cried. "You are my big brother, my hero. Please don't go." And at that moment, everything stopped. The magic that was meant to erase him broke. The queen, seeing her daughter's desperate cries, looked at him closely, and she gasped. You're the one who saved us all." At that moment, the queen praised him, and the entire kingdom followed. The hero was no longer forgotten.